All right, good morning and happy Monday, everybody. Our next 24 hours going to start feeling a little different than the past 72 or more, and not nearly as muggy. And I think that slowly starts to happen today and really takes hold for a couple of days, beginning tonight and tomorrow, as some of this drier air is a little bit more successful. Now, it's still going to be warm. We're not saying it's going to cool down, feel like fall outside, but I do think the overnights can see numbers that dip into the upper 60s or even the middle 60s. And I think the evenings will start to feel a little less oppressive outside. Even the afternoons, with temperatures still getting up over 90, aren't going to feel as uncomfortable as we dry the air out just a little tiny bit. I mean, we're not talking huge changes to November here, but it's going to be different than it's been, and that should make it feel a little bit more pleasant outside. The radar picture showing some pockets of green. That's not real rain coming down anywhere. A couple of sprinkles maybe up against the Taylor and Dixie County coasts, or even inland near Highway 19 between, say, like Cross City and Steinhatchee. But I think the story here is going to be the best chances for showers today, getting pushed a little bit more south. Some of this muggy air still lingering, and a little bit of patchy fog this morning, a little bit of cloud cover this morning, all still expected before we begin to dry things out a little bit more later today and tonight, and that should be a more noticeable change tomorrow morning. We're at 73 right now in Thomasville. We're at 74 for Tallahassee and for Valdosta, so still kind of like it's been. Dew point numbers 72s and 73s. All right, no real change here just yet. Most of the temperatures around the area between 73 and 75. As a matter of fact, just about all of them coming in between 73 and 75. So no real changes yet. And yeah, there's some patchy fog out there. I don't see a whole lot of breeze to stir things up. And we'll notice some visibilities like in Live Oak or Valdosta or Bainbridge, where it's like 6 or 7 miles. We're not expecting widespread dense fog, but I think we can find some patchy fog out there in some spots. Still dealing with some clouds trying to sink south and east from the north and west. That's where the driest air is. And the air up there is not as dry as it was across the middle of the country over the weekend or at the end of last week, but it certainly will feel different around here for a couple of days as this drier air not only tries, but I think gets to be successful enough with that boundary, the leading edge of that drier air, pushing a little farther south. Now, how far south it goes matters. If it can get all the way to central Florida, then our entire area gets to enjoy some of that bonus weather, some of that drier air. If it gets hung up someplace over the North Florida Peninsula, maybe like near Ocala or Gainesville, maybe our southeastern parts of the Big Bend don't get the benefit as much as some of our northern and western areas do. But I still think at this point, most of us are going to get that change in the air mass. It is going to feel a little bit better. Still warm in the afternoons, still August for sure, but definitely feeling different than it has been for so long. Here's a look at the futurecast today. I do think a couple of showers are still going to try, especially to the south and east, closer to where that boundary is. That boundary trying to make its way all the way through the area by tonight, and that's when that little bit of a northwest breeze takes over. It's not going to get windy or anything, but the air itself will feel different, and that's what will give us some of that bonus weather for at least a couple of days. Let's talk tropics. Erin, no more, but we are talking Fernand out there east of Bermuda. Stayed far enough away, so no real threat to any land area. And like the last couple, staying out over those cooler waters of the North Atlantic, no real threat to any land areas, just the way we like it. That's what it looks like there, circled in red, and still looks like it's got some structure to it. Down here, circled in yellow, near the Windward and Leeward Islands, this is that other area that we watched all week last week, and as it made its progress, it's run into some difficulty. Hopefully it continues to find difficulty and is unable to turn into anything more. We're talking that now down to about a 10% chance for any kind of development as it does try to work its way into the Caribbean. The conditions here, especially in the upper part of the atmosphere, are actually quite hostile right now. So that's going to make it very difficult for that to hold itself together. So fingers crossed, things quiet down in the tropics after a very busy week last week, even though there was not much impacting our local forecast. On the Gulf today, northwest winds that turn maybe a little bit more southwest at times, 5 to 15, seas 1 to 3 feet. We'll go with a light chop in the protected waters. Most of us are going to be muggy still this morning and in the 70s. We'll call mostly cloudy, and it stays that way for a while today. We start to get more sunshine. I do think the warm spots are going to get up over 90. I will leave the rain chances around 30%. Best shots for showers to the south to the east. Tonight, we should have widespread upper 60s and maybe north and west, a bunch of middle 60s. Would be great to wake up to 65 or 66 tomorrow. It will feel different. It will feel more comfortable out there, and that should begin this evening and tonight. I think we get to keep that for most mornings this week. And you know what? Even in the afternoons, when we're still getting into the 90s, it is going to be less humid, so less uncomfortable, and that will make a difference in the way it feels outside. I expect more sunshine over the next couple of days, too. I still think it's going to be warm, but at least for most of the week, how about a lot less humid?